Aloha, classmates. We're working on these sermons that we've been assigned to read and to do a video report on them. And I was assigned the sermon by Philip Brooks, The Serious Life, Exodus 20:19. Philip Brooks was born on December the 13th, 1835. He attended Harvard in 1851 to 1855, and then after that he took his first rectory appointment in the Episcopal Church in Philadelphia at the Church of the Advent, and he was there for 3 years, and then from there he moved a little ways across town to Holy Trinity Church, and he was there for 7 years. After those 7 years, he went to his home of Boston and pastored the church there, Trinity Church, beginning in 1869. He was a scholar and preached a series of sermon lectures at Yale in 1877 on preaching. And he makes this comment in his lectures as he defines preaching as to bring the truth through personality. I thought that was very interesting. I look forward to reading his lectures this summer. He was invited to preach at Westminster Abbey in 1880, and he also preached at the Royal Chapel at that time for Queen Victoria. He's quoted very often with many different topics, but one of the most popular topics he's quoted on is prayer. And I wanted to share one of those quotes with you. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray to be stronger men. Do not pray for the tasks to equal your powers, but pray for the power equal to your task. And then the doing of your work shall not be no miracle, but you shall be the miracle. I really like that. He became Archbishop of the Episcopal Church in 1891 in Massachusetts, and he was there, the Archbishop, until 1893. The topic that I was assigned was the serious life. His message with the text found in Exodus 20:19, let not God speak to us lest we die. Let God, listen to that, let God not speak to us lest we die. I believe this is an inductive sermon because he really identifies his big idea almost at the end of his sermon. He begins by addressing the superficialness of life and the willingness for most people to accept it. He uses of the superficial life, he speaks about one who's capable but of profound things, but doesn't take the opportunity unless the opportunity passes him by. His big idea is don't let your religion satisfy itself with anything less than God. He states, insist on having your soul, get at him and hear his voice, and never take refuge in the superficial things of faith. He moves from the Old Testament passage in Exodus and he moves into the New Testament, where he begins to talk about the simple idea that in this, let God not speak to us lest we die, about men's fear of God talking to them, and yet it is a very natural instinct. It's the essence of man to talk with God. It's in our DNA. He goes on to say that Jesus became the man that God spoke with constantly, and yet he lived a very full life. Matter of fact, he makes this quote. He says that Jesus was the liveliest of all the living, and I like that. He then takes on this clear quote. He says, to the students of history, know that there are certain ages which they're always speaking with God. The divine voice was always in the ears, sometimes misunderstanding, sometimes echoing in our own thoughts and our own wishes, but they desire it. They sense that life consisted in hearing it, and that never left them. He calls out, he says, oh, do not try to shut out his voice, but listen to him that you may live. I think this is a must-read sermon. I know that you want to read, but this is a must-read. Matter of fact, I have to confess to you that I'm probably going to preach this in some variation this summer. I enjoyed this sermon. It challenged the superficialness in my own life, and I look forward to reading his lectures that he made in 1877 at Yale this summer. Well, aloha and God bless.